Hi, Angela. Thank you for joining the UK AI Women in AI podcast today. I would love for you to introduce yourself to all of the people listening and watching.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for having me, and as well UKAI for hosting this podcast. My name is Angela Stathi, and I am a senior commercial and technology and investment executive, but I also work as an advisor across multiple different sectors that includes financial services, energy, defense, and health.
Uh,
Um, I can share some few things as well
yes,
as
please.
to my work, if that's okay. So I'm very much in the intersection, I would say, of regulation, innovation, and capital mobilization. Basically, what it all means is that for the last couple of years, I've been very much helping governments, investors, boards, and technology firms in complex political, technological, and economic environments. And this was very much to unlock opportunities for these organizations and institutions and making them make decisions. As of today, I serve as the FCA statutory financial services consumer panel, and I advise them there on AI, digital assets, tokenization, and generally the future of financial markets. I also work with the European Commission Innovation Council, which is the 10 billion deep tech innovation fund, the NATO Diana, UNDP, and global investors in emerging technology.
That's great. Angela, would you like to share with us what inspired you to pursue this career path?
I always loved technology, Zara, and I was always very much thinking, what should I be when I grow up, right? But the path of my career has never really been very linear. I've always worked for multiple sectors and in very complex environments. So some that required me to work with stakeholders from all different spheres. So this has, as I said, it hasn't been a decision on its own, like you have to follow this direction. So I started my career within financial services, and that was my first area where I actually learned about risks and investments. And then I moved swiftly towards innovation and technology. So it has been not very linear, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to share some key challenges that you faced and how did you overcome those challenges?
Yes. So, in terms of challenges, maybe if I walk you back into my career first, and then I give you some examples of the things I've done through my career, I think that would give us some flavor of the terms of challenges of that I've experienced within my work. So, within my career, I worked, and a moment I would say that shaped my career. It has been working with international teams where we were trying to create new technologies and products in a very highly regulated environment, I would say. And there, some of the challenges I've experienced is that certainly because it was a very regulated environment, there was a lot of cautious and also observations towards what we have to do and to not do. And that's where I realized, Sarah, that I'm quite capable in navigating these worlds of individuals and translating technology regulation. And I felt that this is a world I would like to be in. And significant part of my career resulted me in working with investment managers and as well a decade in Moody's, which is a global investment management, a global credit rating institution and technology firm, and quite an interesting job, I would say, because I led a big transformation there with 250 people in different countries. So I would say it really shaped how I worked and how I managed people there because I was in charge of automation, turning something that was quite manual using technology. And it was really very interesting environment. It was where my career took off.
What kind of impact do you really wish to create?
Yeah, so in terms of impact, and I will answer as well, Zara, your question about the challenges further on, if that's okay with you. And as well, I will provide some insights on the impact. Perhaps if I also share my career after the Moody's, is that I later on started working with innovation and investments, and for the past few years, I've been working with European Innovation Council, and as well more recently with the Department of Business and Trade and the Office for Investments. And this is very much work that I do, for which I believe in securing major commercial investments deals for the economy. Very interesting opportunities, and it's also a turning point, I would say, again in my career. So many pivotal moments, because that's when I realized that I quite enjoy working in this intersection of regulators, innovators, capital policy, and really creating this global ecosystem of opportunities. And I know you asked about challenges and the impact, Sarah, and I will deep dive now a little bit more on this, if that's okay. And in terms of challenges, I would say if we were to go back to my Moody's and financial services career, I would say leading transformational programs in multiple countries. That entail really having somebody who is able to build this trust, secure the buy-in, really create a delivery that has an impact for the organization, and also that gives these priorities and actually that are aligned with the company's values. So I created an environment where people can really collaborate, and I've done it because I quite like these workshops, bringing people together, getting them to share ideas, and it was really very interesting, but also challenging, as I mentioned before, because I had to ensure that we were following regulatory guidelines, we were ensuring that the priorities of the firm were there, and also the cultural interaction with individuals in all these different countries. And then when I mentioned as well my next career, which was within innovation, the challenges there where I face, right, innovation and regulation, it is, for example, my statutory role within the FCA. It's a very fast-moving environment, right? I have to work with AI, blockchain, digital assets, which it's regulation that is coming up. And the challenges there where I face is really balancing innovation with also the need for stability and consumer protection. So all the advice that we give the regulator has to be very balanced and really very much understanding of all the intrinsics of all the ecosystem that we are operating. So I would say that in this role, it's super impactful. You asked about impact, really super impactful. I really enjoy it because through this work and my fellow panel members, we lead discussions on consultations of the UK investment regimes, the crypto asset and stablecoin regime. So it's really super interesting. And we also provide the regulator this clarity that will help them understand what are the impacts that will have to consumers, the regulations that they're putting out. Super impactful. Anything else in terms of impact you would like to know? I would say impact. So I would summarize perhaps on the impact. Zara, I would say that for me, impact means in the regulatory environment is that the regulators get the insight that shape potentially an entire market. It also means that in terms of if you create a governance framework, it can protect billions of people, right? So it's quite impactful. And then in terms of my international innovation and connections that I built through my other advisory work, I think these strategic introductions, I feel that it has created these international partnerships and collaborations that have been unlocked just because of these introductions that we have made for them. And finally, with investments and the tech community, I would say it's really interesting to see when you get this one technology that you've invested all your energy and work, and suddenly you see them successfully internationalizing themselves and being part of this great supply chain. So it's really, I think it's really nice to see that the impact, it's not only just a one-time impact, it's an impact that is quite repeatable. I quite like that it's scalable, and also it creates really maximum value for not just one individual, but perhaps a whole economy.
Mm-hmm. Are there any specific projects that you're currently working on, or future projects that you'd like to share as well?
Yes, indeed, Sarah. I would say that current projects that I'm working on and future projects is the in the UK and Europe certainly is innovation and capital raising, ensuring that the ecosystems are flourishing within the UK and in the EU, supporting deep tech innovations in AI, climate, defense, life science. These are the things I do with European Innovation Council and as well here in the UK. And through my work of Brazil Tech Connect and S2C Ventures, it's really deepening this UK LATAM EU collaboration, which is something I quite like to foster and develop. Few final things, I would say, certainly working very closely with the regulator and ensuring that we have the right regulation out there. And lastly, I would say in April, we have the UK FinTech Week. So we are bringing a trade mission with a number of colleagues of mine. We're bringing a trade mission from LATAM and the EU, and they will be here during the FinTech Week. And I hope to see you there.
I wish you all the best for it. Your journey so far, the way you described it, is very interesting and very rich. What advice would you offer to others who want to pursue a similar career path?
Very interesting question, Zara. I would say if you want to really follow something similar, the way I would approach it is first, I would say cultivate range. So most leaders really focus in certain areas. I quite did the opposite. I've developed this cross-sectoral approach, which give me this depth that I'm able to navigate sectors and discussions that I wouldn't have been able to do it otherwise. Second, I would say if you are a communicator, unlike me, perhaps be a little bit precise and authority, provide precision and authority, especially when it comes to in the roles that I handle at the moment, speaking with ministers, with government officials, regulators. I think precision, accuracy, and rationale as to why you say what you say, it's really a currency in this environment. And I would say third is networks. And perhaps you've seen me say that in other times as well, Zara. Networks for me are everything. And I wouldn't say build the networks for just visibility, but I would say build them because you are there developing an impact. So if you're looking to create a similar career path, really encourage to get these people, surround yourself with these people that would challenge your thinking, that will open the doors and the opportunities and help you in every single corner that you navigate. So I really quite like that, and I really follow this advice myself. So if somebody wants to do a similar path, I will encourage them to consider this advice for me.
Mm-hmm. And how can people get in touch with you?
Zara, I would say LinkedIn is absolutely fine. They can reach out to me on LinkedIn, but I will encourage them to really say the rationale of them reaching out. How can I help them? I'm always very happy to help people, but I really encourage them to say why they're reaching out, not just connecting for the sake of connecting.
Mm-hmm. And finally, is there anything else you'd like to share with people out there?
I think most important of everything is be yourself, be authentic, and really only do work that you really value and it is of your beliefs, because that's only when you're going to end up being very happy, is when you do work that has an impact and it's aligned with your values. So that is a thing I follow and I encourage others to do. It's been a pleasure to have me, I think, on this podcast. Thank you very much, Sarah, for inviting me.
Thank you, Angela. I've really enjoyed speaking to you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Sarah, and hope to see you soon.